Ladies and gentlemen, live from T-Briz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
I'm a sweet boy.
I'll let a girl suck any part of me. I mean, honestly.
It's just in my mouth, just.
Oh, like, I'll try anything once.
Yeah. Except getting to work on time.
You just ruined my day. Fuck your day.
Oh, let's get the feet involved.
It's not a nut. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud with you.
Some people
Yeah.
are absolutely
Uh-huh.
disgusted by me.
He ain't lying.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 295. I am B.
I am Chick.
I'm Ryan.
I thought you were gonna do like a clap.
No. There was a little thing. I just threw it up in the air.
Oh,
How you doing?
good.
How's everybody feeling on this fine day?
I feel good.
You look good. You shaved.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're joining.
Oh shit, he did.
Joining the beardless crew.
Yep. The beardless babies. That's what we are.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm still getting used to the idea of I haven't seen myself
didn't even
without
notice it.
facial hair in 15 years.
Has it
Maybe
been
like
that
one
long?
day. I think one day for like a Halloween costume I shaved.
Yeah.
But then I just shaved and then I grew right back. But I shaved about a week ago.
I
week back Tuesday.
shaved, but I'm not.
You always keep that goatee. But of course I did the breakdown. So I did first the chops with the goatee, then I did just the goatee.
Did you take
then
pictures of each section?
Yeah. And then I did just the mustache. I was like, "Whoa, that's a bad look."
Did you debate keeping any of them as you were going?
No, I knew it was all coming. I knew it was all going down. I wasn't gonna leave. I wanted to see everything shaved.
What made you want to do it? Was I an inspiration?
No,
You're like, he
you
looks
weren't.
so good without it.
Well, I think you do. No, that wasn't
No,
the
you
case.
don't.
I prefer him with a beard,
We all do.
but it's But I think he looks fine
His
without a
face
beard.
prefers himself.
Yeah,
with a
Yeah.
beard.
I think
Everything
everybody prefers him with a beard, but he's got a face that
Right
is,
now,
is a
this
beard.
is what it is.
I think I prefer myself with a beard too.
I actually didn't even notice. I think you look good.
Thank you. So do you want the real reason, or do you want the
You fucked up shaving.
no?
Okay, so I want to know.
So first of all, I had the idea to shave just because it's the summer, maybe it'd be cooler. But I kind of mentioned it casually to Monique, and she kind of lit up. She was like, "Oh," she goes, "If you do that, I want to see you that day if you do that." And her excitement for me to shave. Are we going to do this early in the podcast?
Yes.
Are we getting right into it, huh?
For how that might feel for certain
Like a mustache
sexual
ride, minus the
activities.
mustache.
Because, she seemed excited about the idea of that activity without the facial hair. Well, I think that some people don't mind that. It's nicer. I think a smoother surface is probably nicer when.
But it would have to be
when
the
meeting-
day of the shave,
Well, it was, yeah.
because then it can get
It's got to be no stubble at all.
Yeah.
Because stubble
The stubble could be worse.
worse than just full grown hair.
I was going to say the stubble's probably definitely worse than full grown hair.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
would imagine.
When I have my beard, it's not. It doesn't. A lot of people that don't have beards say, "Doesn't it itch? Doesn't it like?" But it's soft. It's like nice and it's. I would say pillowy.
Yeah,
You
right.
know?
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of hair would feel softer on a vagina.
Right.
Just say
Yeah. No.
So
Sunday morning.
nobody needs to know that. So her excitement for it motivated me. When I saw her light up, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely do
and
it." Yeah.
I don't think you were that long to begin with where, if you want to grow it back, you'll be good to go in a
Yeah, it
couple
doesn't take me
weeks.
long. It's not like I didn't have a big bushy beard where
Yeah,
it's
right.
a big change.
And it seems like facial hair grows fast with you.
Not really.
No,
I
it does.
don't know. Maybe.
See, I feel like you're like a hairy guy.
Yeah.
Like for me, even when I don't, when I could grow my beard, it would take a little while. There's something about the Italians, the Greeks. The hair is more.
I'm more English though. I have more British blood than
I'm
than
Italian
Greek
and
blood.
I don't grow like that, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I brought all my shaving gear to her place
I
one
was
night.
just gonna say. So within
So it could be
how
like
many
fresh as it can be.
Within how many minutes to hours was she sitting on
Yeah.
your face?
I would say seconds. There was still shaving cream.
Yeah, it was within it. It was very quick. Yeah.
Wow.
She was sitting there purring for him, waiting for him to finish shaving.
Yeah. So that was it.
great.
But then once I saw it and I was like, okay, I like it. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll go this summer.
doesn't look bad at all.
I'll go this summer with see how it is because it's so like I sweat a lot when I'm working, and it's just the idea of being able to just like wipe away your mouth. Usually, it's like the sweat gets in the beard, and you gotta. Do you do that like when you're sweating? Do you sweat a lot during work?
Not so much. You know, if it's extremely hot. But mostly I'm in and out of places.
I like to have the hair on my face when I'm sweating as opposed to not because I feel like I drip more without the hair.
I'm sure it will drip more, like the beard catches it,
Yeah.
but it's a quicker relief to just be able to wipe it down, like more comfortable to get rid of the sweat.
That makes sense. Because I never understood when people say, you know, oh, it's summer. If I shave my beard, it'll be cooler. Like I've never felt cooler.
Well, it would like if a breeze, like it's gonna feel.
guess,
There's less
but
things covering your face.
I mean, that seems like a pretty fair statement.
The most annoying people say like about the head, like, oh, it must be cool you have a bald head. I said, yes, it is, but I sweat through my head, and then the sweat's got, and then the sweat just runs
Beads
through my,
down
it
your
just
face.
runs through my face.
That's true.
So all day long, I'm just wiping my head because the sweat is just running. If I had hair, at least it would pool up in my
But
hair.
I don't feel with the beard. I don't feel warmer. I don't feel in the winter when it's cold. The beard doesn't make me feel any warmer than without it.
Well, no.
A bald head in the
no.
summer, a bald head is more dangerous than having hair on your head.
Dangerous. Well, your sun is just.
Son, you gotta be more aware.
Also, when you think about it, the reason we sweat is to cool ourselves down. So if we're sweating into hair, then the hair is sitting in the spot that we want it to cool. So it's probably actually cooler if you're sweating into your hair and it's the cold sweat is sitting on your head. It probably does cool you more than a bald head where the sweat is just leaving your body.
I look like an idiot. I look like Patrick Ewing at the free throw line when I'm sweating. It just beads down me. It's
that's me.
People, I can't.
I always try
to go. You're sweating. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
I know.
I always try. Sometimes I see myself in the mirror. I try to take a picture of just how how beady of sweat my head is, and it never shows up perfect in a photo. But it's just like it's.
I like bending my head down
and
rinsing it down.
That's what I call the squeegee.
Yeah,
that's squeegee it down.
I've done that move as well.
Yeah. So maybe it will be. Maybe I won't have that cooling sweaty beard effect during the summer. Maybe it'll be worse.
Interesting. It's a fun little
experiment. But I disagree about the winter. If I ever trim my beard in the winter, I can feel the wind in my face. Wait,
I don't know.
Instantly.
I feel if I have a longer beard, then it's.
I feel like I'm very cold with the beard too. So I don't know.
I haven't shaved in it was almost like a few weeks. I was just super lazy, not wanting to shave, and I had someone goes, "You got hair all over your face," and I'm like, "Yeah," but it was just weird. It was one even size
up
top down to my face, and I shaved yesterday, and I feel it's amazing how much better I feel after a nice shave.
Mm-hmm.
Will you ever completely shave? Will you get rid of the?
No,
goatee?
probably not. I mean, if I do, it's probably because I fucked up shaving.
Right.
So that was another reason why I wanted to shave. Maybe even part of the initial idea of it is I don't ever want to get stuck. See somebody they have the same look for 30 years and they just never break from it. Like a woman.
Keep it.
A woman has the same hair and she just never thinks oh, I should update my haircut. She's just wake up, this is my hair, and they never change it. Or a guy who just has a look. I never want to get caught. And just the bald-headed bearded guy, he's become such a look. I'm I want to just know that I can break from that, where I'm not stuck in a look for my whole life. So I'm just let me just, I can't grow hair. So the only other option I have is to get rid of the beard. So
I think I like having that, and I don't feel stuck. I actually genuinely do not want to have my face without a beard.
Right.
I don't want to look and I'm not saying I'd look like Babe, but
I think you look fine with it, and I don't think it's ever going to be an outdated look.
Exactly.
I
don't think it's ever going to be outdated. It is what it is. It's
but
simple.
sometimes, if there's a look about oh yeah, remember the age where everyone was bald and had a beard? You know what I mean?
That's one of the things when I lost the beard, I said, that's good to break away. You do think, but then you look in the mirror, I'm like, well, no.
Yeah.
I have done a few different stages where I did the handlebars for a little bit once. I did just the mustache once. I did just the goatee, which is a terrible look. I have seen pictures of it and I hate it.
You ever do just the soul patch? I'd love to see it like that.
Oh, just this? Maybe I'll try that once.
I would love
I
to
did
see
that.
it.
Part of my shaving was mustache and then just the soul patch. Soul patch. That was.
I've never done the mustache and the soul patch. That's another idea. But my soul patch doesn't grow.
Oh.
It's there, but it's almost not visible if you're 5 feet
Man's
away.
got no soul.
I shaved that and I took a picture. I looked in the mirror. I told Monique, I said, I think I just got put on some type of registry. Like, like just having this facial, like I think I got put on a sexual offenders registry.
Do you ever wonder that they like Monique lights up when you're gonna shave your face? It's like, so wait, do you hate the fact that I
Yeah,
have?
I think she
Yeah.
liked the look of the beard. She's just she's such a pervert that she like she would
It's the
like
first thing that she thought of.
exactly yeah. She was like, oh, I want to be there. That's gonna be a fun thing. So I think she almost sees the benefit of it, even if she prefers the look. She likes the benefit of the feeling of it. So she's
You guys are
like
perfect for each other.
what pervert for each other,
Pervert.
pervert for each other.
You are.
Speaking of perverts, I watched the Kevin Spacey
Oh God,
documentary
Yeah.
on HBO this week.
yeah,
That guy was a super gay creep. Like
super gay creep.
Well, he was gay. And he was
Yeah, I
super
know, but
creep.
Okay, creep. That's how it,
But you know what I also feel like about it? The one thing that I got from it, well, not the one thing, but one of the things I got from it
yeah.
was I feel like he wouldn't have probably been outed if he would have went after other gay men. Like everybody he was like being a creep with was straight guys who didn't want to do it.
Well, Anthony Rapp is gay, right? So
I don't know
he
who
was
Anthony
he
Rapp-
was the main guy who he was the first guy that
Anthony
exposed.
Rapp?
It.
Oh, okay, yeah. This
Yeah.
was like 9 stories.
Isn't he in 1000
Rent.
Yeah.
He was one of the first guys in Rent, and I think he was in the movie as well.
He
Yeah,
was.
He was also in Adventures in Babysitting.
Wait, let me see what he
So I
looks
didn't
like.
know. I'm not caught up on the Kevin Spacey thing.
Well, that's what I wasn't. I knew what happened, but I didn't know what happened. Like I didn't know the full story.
Okay.
I saw Anthony Rapp in New York City one day, and
Did you?
I wanted to stop and
Ask him
talk
about
to
it.
him. No, I'm a fan of his stuff. Well, he guests on a podcast I listen to pretty frequently, and it's always I wanted to stop and be like, hey, I love you.
yeah.
I love you. I'm never not funny, which is like a deep cut, which feels okay to stop
Yeah.
and tell somebody. It's like, hey, you know, 'cause
Was
it's
that
not-
Jimmy Pardo?
yeah, yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my podcast.
We should have I would think we should have a podcast off.
We should.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I would like to do like where we have a list of names of a podcast or comics, and we have to match
That would be
the
fun.
podcast to the comic.
That would be fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think we would match.
I would be terrible.
Yeah, you don't listen to any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to be the host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to. Yeah, but I can't put the quiz together because I would know all the.
And he
put
can't
this-
put the quiz
Yes,
together
I
because
can.
of
I can
laziness.
put-
So
I-
I guess we're not going to do it.
No, I'll put the quiz together. So I got to get the name of the podcast or an excerpt from the podcast.
No, you just got to research. You got to look up comics podcasts.
We'll
Like,
have to give you like an example. I think of like all right.
yeah, you put like Theo Vaughn, and then like what's the name of his podcast, and you could be like current podcast because he also has a couple of past podcasts. So like,
Yeah.
how many of his podcasts can you name?
I got you. I
Yeah.
got this. I could do this.
Yeah, you could do it. You got it.
Put me in, coach.
The
Look
Kevin,
at him with that smile. Ryan's like, yeah, let me see this.
I'm just realizing now I hate my face. I'm just realizing right now. I'm like, I don't actually don't like
oh, see,
myself
this
without
is
a
what
beard.
I was dealing with for a year.
Yeah.
Look at it at the big screen.
We should put up a vote on the. We should put pictures side by side, and we can have people vote.
Yes.
Beard or no beard, because we never put. You guys did. You did rate you personality, and,
I
and then I
take
never
full
did.
responsibility.
I wasn't
for
expecting
that.
myself,
No.
only because I think most of the followers are like people that know you guys personally and
But I
have
did
a better.
it day by day, and I forgot to do you the third day. But the main reason why I did it was because of a debate that me and B had.
Yeah.
And
What was the debate?
what people when you said you were a 10?
Oh my God! Do you know this is how like I love you, chick, but you fall for anything. In this
Fall for anything.
he does.
You're a rube.
He's a rube. Tommy
I don't even know
Rube.
what a rube is.
That's
but
what,
all right.
yeah. A rube would say that. So we were talking about likability, and I just went all in, like how there's no way that nobody doesn't find me a 10. Like I am appalled that somebody would say I'm a 2, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't believe you. I can't believe this is the way you really feel.
I like how you talk in my voice when I'm texting because you think you know exactly how I am when I'm.
All right. I can't believe this is the way you really feel. I don't know. How do you do it?
No, whatever.
That's just your voice, yeah.
Proceed.
Sorry. I do your voice often just because that's how.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, he's just going back with me all day. And like, I convinced him that I was shocked that people wouldn't like me, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like insane. I barely like myself, you know? And he was losing his mind over this. And then that's when he did
my mind.
You went to the point where you had to make a poll.
Well, I've been wanting to do a poll, so I thought
He
You
loves
haven't
polls.
want to do a poll, yeah.
Tom loves polls.
So I was wondering if I was going to be like I was
Overall
gonna make a
good
poll,
guy,
but I'm
right,
like,
Chip?
I feel like nobody's going to vote for me just because, like I said, a lot of the followers are like going to be like, I don't know this guy to vote on this guy.
Well, nobody really voted for me. He got the most votes.
I voted for you.
But that's what I'm saying. Most of the people.
the
who
other
voted
thing
for
was
you,
I wanted to vote for you guys too, but
you didn't want us to see our.
I kept saying that he is a clear 2 or a clear 3 or something like that. So like, but I don't feel that way. I do a podcast with. I mean, there's certain aspects of you I do think are a 2.
Well, like we said on the podcast, where this stemmed from is like he gets a lot of highs and a lot of lows, so he averages out around a 6 because a lot
I
of
think
people.
it's starting to go down personally, but you know,
It might be.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, either way, we should do one
I'll do
for
it.
you.
I'll do
Unless-
it. I'll do it. What do you prefer, Ryan?
I
With a beard or without a
remember
beard?
you were gonna because he said Ryan's next, and then nothing happened.
I think I had a busy day. I forget what
I
happened.
can't imagine what could you have been doing.
I realized my weekends without having a kid, I am like basically I go to my nephew's sporting events all
You're
week.
jam packed.
So like yesterday, I had t-ball that I coach at 2. Then I had soccer game at 6. Today I had pitcher day. I'm missing a soccer game for this, but you know, priorities.
I mean, can you believe he was missing?
It was either
something?
miss the soccer game and do the podcast now and catch the Knicks, or
What a life. I mean, how do you fit it all in?
And you had a T-ball game that was very important to you yesterday, obviously.
yes,
Yeah, can't miss that.
What?
Nothing. Yeah, you're
So-
2. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
I want to get into this. You have 2 stories I want to hear about.
Yes.
You have the officiating of the wedding.
Yes.
And you have your Mother's Day. Your father
Oh,
blew
I
up
forgot about that.
on
Yes.
Mother's Day.
Oh my God. Yes, that's right.
So what?
You forgot about
What?
like you and the officiant?
No.
No, the Mother's Day thing.
Mother's Day. Remember at the end
Oh.
of Mother's Day, he goes, "I got a great story." My father.
I forgot about that.
Okay. Well,
You didn't
somebody's got
even listen to the question.
somebody's got to produce the podcast, I guess. So what do you?
all right.
Dealer's choice. What do you? I mean,
So-
I want to get through both of them, so it doesn't
all
really
right,
matter.
So, oh, man.
Save the best for last.
All right. Well, the officiating, I'll say, yesterday was
There's our answer.
was I wish I went over the steps of it, but we'll see. The officiating yesterday was Chris's wedding.
Yeah.
You know,
I wish we had somebody there who could have recorded it, so we could have seen
I
it.
know. I really wish somebody could have been there.
Listen, I had shit came up. I had
See,
some
all right, we
family
don't want
stuff.
to talk about it. You said you don't want to talk about it because you don't want to hurt Chris's feelings. But if you
Yeah.
think he's going to listen to this, and you're worried about him hurting his feelings,
I
I
just
think it's
think
nice.
What?
You want me to cut this out?
No.
No,
I think it's
I'm not
nicer. I think if he does listen to this, you want to hear like if
Your
he is
side.
upset that you didn't like. I think you can justify. You didn't know it was a day wedding until it
I
was
didn't
last minute.
because I never had like I thought it was a night wedding in my own like mind.
Okay,
Fair enough.
so
But I just had listen. I had some family stuff in the morning. I had to watch my nephews, and then I had to coach, and I had to do all
Right.
this shit. I had to
So-
like
He couldn't do it.
I think it's always nice to talk about something. So maybe look in the camera and say you would like.
Oh, I sent him a message
All right,
anyway because
okay.
I don't know if he has an
A very
actual cell
heartfelt
phone.
message. Sorry.
You don't know if he has an actual
sorry,
cell
I got
phone?
T-ball. Can't make it.
It wasn't because I had t-ball. It was
I
more
also
the-
had soccer.
soccer was late in the day that wouldn't even mattered.
Okay,
Go on.
I sent him a message
Okay.
that I felt terrible about it.
yeah, all right.
I don't need to do it on camera.
And you're gonna
Chris,
make
I
it
do
up-
feel terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna send
He
him.
does-
You'll send him something. You'll make up because it's somebody pays for a
I
spot.
didn't no
and it's-
show and just be like, oh fuck him. It wasn't.
Well,
it
you
wasn't
did.
like
I mean, you
that.
did, but
Just because you say you're not coming doesn't. You're
Yeah.
still a no-show.
It's different
last
than
minute.
not
He
texting him
can't,
and just
but he
not
can't.
going.
He can't tell the venue, "Hey, cut back on one plate," and then they're gonna like prorate him.
But
the
who
price.
said I wasn't gonna send him anything?
That's fine. That's
Your
fine. yeah.
history says that.
What do you mean my history?
Your history of
my history at every wedding I've ever been to, I brought a gift. And
I just listened to an old podcast with a guy named
Big T.
Big T.
Don't worry about that.
It took you a couple of years to get.
Do you know how many
even with
stories
him?
on that podcast weren't correct because he doesn't tell any story correctly?
Yeah.
So I won't.
You
even
guys
get
also
into
talked
that.
about unions on that podcast, and you guys got pretty heated about that. And I remember a couple weeks ago, I dropped in that I'm in a union, and because I had just heard about you say about you hate unions, and I purposely said I'm in a union. And I looked at you, and like I was waiting for a little combat for that.
Everything's in context, and
Yeah.
he hated
people.
unions that day.
No,
Today-
but it's not even. I think there's unions are overly powerful to the
Yeah.
point where sometimes it's a little too much. But the main purpose,
There's
I
bad
think I
parts.
said it then, is that the main purpose of unions, like the core at its core, yeah, you need them, or else workers. Would
I feel the
take
same way.
advantage
I
of
love that I'm in union. Union's great. I'm union, but sometimes you pass by, a state job, like a highway job, and it's a union job, and you got 6 guys standing around, and it's union protected. That this guy needs to hold the flag, and this guy. It's like okay, the unions are like
what about-
they're wasting money. Like they
I don't
waste
want to
money
get
sometimes.
into it, but sanitation, they don't work 8 hours, and they get paid for 8 hours, no matter what. They
Yeah,
get their
but
job.
but that's
I'm not knocking the work. I get it. That's why I'm saying it's not. My whole thing is more power to them. If I could do it, like if I got into it,
Right.
I would do
Yeah,
it.
we're getting
I'd
off.
do it.
We're getting off topic.
No,
That's
but
I
I'm
didn't mean to
saying-
bring up, but I just thought it was funny. Like I mentioned, I was union, then I just heard you. Like,
Well, because when you
guys-
talk to Big T, which I love him, but he gets heated and doesn't listen to things that you actually say back to him.
So you did make good on his wedding that you didn't give him a gift, and then eventually you got around
Yeah,
to it.
and I covered the thing on it. But in my defense, I wrote him a check with the date. It was a post-dated check. I told him it was kind of the joke, and they cashed it early. So the money wasn't going to be in there once they did it.
Yeah, that wasn't. I don't think how the story was told
Because
on the
he doesn't
podcast.
sell you anything correctly,
Yeah.
is to my point.
So within a couple of years, you'll make it good with Chris.
Couple, no, I'll get him. I'll fucking shoot him.
Don't
a
worry,
Venmo
Chris. He's
tomorrow.
gonna cover his
Shoot him a
plate.
Venmo tomorrow.
Well,
Yeah.
what- I don't know where to send him a check. Do you know his address?
There was a little box right next to where they were yesterday. That's where you put the check.
Yeah, that's where you put it. He acts like it's impossible to miss a wedding, like it's taboo.
Yeah.
People miss. It happens.
It happens.
Life comes up.
Life comes
And
up.
The problem is
and
it
you know
doesn't
what?
happen
I
all-
didn't even get an invitation. It was an invitation to B's house that said, "Oh, and chick too." Like
Right.
you know what I
wasn't
mean.
All right, but then you
Check,
still
And
committed
I
to
didn't have
going.
any clue what time. There was no RSVP, so in theory,
Okay,
did I
yeah,
ever
listen,
RSVP?
You
yeah.
did because I.
If you're going to attack me, I'm going to be defensive about it. But Chris isn't mad. I have a valid excuse. I
I don't think it's the end of the world that you didn't make
Yeah,
it.
it
I'm
is
sure.
not.
I'm sure he
It's
would have
not.
liked to have had you there
I
to
would
hang
have
around.
loved to have had you there, but
That's why he's mad because maybe Chris was busy and B was by himself a lot.
Chris was busy. He was getting married. I wasn't.
That's my point. Is he wasn't hanging out with you?
Busy.
Maybe you wish I was there to hang
I
out
was
with.
busy that day.
That's so
I was
busy. I didn't have
busy
time
for
to hang
crazy. I was running the
You're busy
wedding.
for 15
Okay,
minutes.
so the officiating.
Yes. So as you know, I was terrified of doing this. I just like. I went over it already. It was just nerve wracking to be up
Can
there.
you stop for a second? Can you just turn that pillow so the part that's ripped is not exposed to the camera? Just
sorry.
flip it that way. That's on camera. I got to sew that pillow closed. Perfect.
I like this pillow because it makes me feel like I'm cuddling something.
Yeah, I know. I just don't. The camera's showing the cotton coming out of
He
it.
just likes to cuddle.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing it too. So
Kind of.
I show up there and it's right around the block from you, right over
That's right,
here.
yeah.
So they told me there was going to be some changes, and it's just a lot of pressure on me. But I've it's their wedding. I just didn't want to mess it up. Now the bride's mother right away said you have to make it funny, and I'm like I'm going by the script.
Yeah.
I added a couple little. All right, this is like a laugh here, but not like I'm not slinging jokes at this wedding, right?
Yeah.
Plus, all my jokes are about myself. I can't. So overall, I went up there. I go up there first. They got the whole microphone attached to me, and I got to do announcements. And right away, I got like a good little laugh over something. So I was like, when you get I'm like, all right, now
Breaks
I feel good.
yeah.
I'm like, all right, and I
All right, I'm likable. Like they like they like me a little bit.
My first thing I had to say was like, guys, they ask you no cameras. They hire professional photographers to take care of this. blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, they did hire professional photographers. They didn't hire a professional wedding officiant. This is my first time doing it. So bear with. And so I felt like they were on my side.
Perfect.
Okay. And then
It's a great little line.
nice and easy.
Yeah.
And then Neil actually gave me a great line to use because Neil's done this before. So I threw in that. And I basically had my biggest thing was I'm not great reading something out loud in front of people. Like I've done it with notes. I'm terrible with that. You know what I mean? I'm afraid I'm going to mess up a word. I don't think I flubbed any word, maybe one.
Yeah.
But like I read the whole thing, and I'm also not a great reader where like there was one part I kept saying where I was like messing it up when I was rehearsing it.
Yeah.
But I got that right.
And that gets in your head while you're doing
Yes.
like, am I going to...
Because there's always a word that like gets me. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was good. They Chris, they did their vows. Chris was great. I actually got a little emotional during the vows, and I also said that out loud. I was like, I'm tearing up here.
That's cute.
Which they
so they
liked.
wrote their own vows. That's sweet.
They wrote their own vows. They were very sweet, and yeah, it was really cool to be up there.
Yeah,
and it made me now. I want to do it. I want to do it again.
He wants every wedding to be about him now.
Yeah, yeah. Not about me.
you get a
No,
little attention. That's
I like the
The attention.
I like being up there.
gives you something to do during it. It's less boring. It's like, yeah, I'm part of this.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there watching two people get married. At least you're involved.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt good.
It's like when my father said you'd be a catcher. He goes, you're involved in every pitch.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be out in right field, just wandering around. You're a catcher. You're there. You're in the game. Every pitch, you're involved in the game.
And you get all that cool equipment to wear.
Yeah, and
I always
then
like
you get
that about
fat and you
catchers.
can't wear it. Then you're on the bench.
And then you give it to somebody else. So yeah, overall it went a lot better than I thought it. I would do.
I'm sure
so.
they appreciate it. And
They
everything
did.
went
They
smooth.
did. And everybody, a lot of people came up and were like, it was perfect. So
Great.
yeah, and it was just a really fun wedding.
Awesome.
Fun wedding, and I was home
Well,
by 5
congrats
o'clock.
to our former colleague.
I mean, for the podcast, I'm upset that it went so well. I feel like a
I
much
know.
better story would have been a disaster. But
It would have been, but also, I just did not want that to happen.
Yeah.
For their wedding.
I wasn't hoping for that to happen.
You
but
know what I mean?
If you came with the story and said, if you came to the podcast and be like, oh my God, like, holy fuck this up, that would have been a great story.
Which on Wednesday I did an open mic and I tried to tell a new joke and literally was silent for 5 minutes, like going like this, like mine went blank.
Yeah.
Which happens sometimes, and I was like, if this happens here, like what? How would I get out of that?
Yeah. We should.
So,
you had like a script.
I had a binder and a script, but yeah.
Worst case, you'd be like, listen, I forgot what I was going to say. I love you both. Yada, yada,
Say
yada.
I do.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yada yada yada.
How funny would it be to throw in a yada, yada,
Oh, yada, yada.
You can't yada, yada, yada marriage.
By the
He
pound.
can't yada, yada.
That was the other the thing that I was also nervous when you do repeat after me. That's when I messed up a little bit. The repeat I thee crit whatever it is. I thee wed thee blah blah blah. I did the first part short where they repeat after me.
Yeah.
And then the whole second part it was like longer. I said that. So by the time they repeat after me, they couldn't
Remember all the things
remember
you said.
all of it.
You
But
went-
they both got
You
it.
did too big of a chunk.
Too big of a chunk. I didn't
Yeah.
split it up right. So that was my one mistake. And I called myself out. I'm like, sorry, this is my
Yeah.
first time doing this.
So when I got married, I did that, and I kind of regret not writing my own vows because I feel like I'm capable of doing that, but I didn't. But the guy who married me had a thick Chinese accent, like thick, like a comically thick, like nobody could understand anything he was saying the whole time, and it was just like kind of fun. But when he did like the repeat to me, I was afraid I was going to repeat it in his accent because sometimes you just
my
have a knee-jerk
God.
reaction to just say something.
That would have been
That
fantastic.
would have
Yeah,
been amazing.
I know. I think I did it, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
He did small chunks, but in that accent, I would have been like, I'm trying to think of without offensive way to be like.
You could just say what it
But I can't. I can't think of a line that it was even in there. But
Yeah. It's like an old timey way of saying stuff
yeah.
that, like, I don't know. It's hard to speak that way. But
Okay.
whatever. It was a success. And if anybody in this room ever gets married again, I'm your guy.
All right.
You hear that, chick? I'm your guy.
I'm never getting married. I don't have to worry about that.
All right. Well, maybe I'll do a fake marriage on you. So yeah, it
You
was
should
fun.
do it in your own marriage.
Marry myself.
Marry yourself.
No, I'm married to this podcast.
Hi, Brendan. Hi, Brendan.
Repeat after me. Yeah, so a lot of fun.
Okay, and then so now Mother's Day.
There was a
You guys-
meltdown.
Yeah, we got a text that
All right.
he had a
So
bit of a meltdown. Not you, your father, right?
yeah. So it started at, we went to, I'm going to call the place out because we
Love it.
didn't have good service. And it's an expensive restaurant. We went to 110 in
On 110?
Melville.
Melville.
Well, yeah. And the reason why we went there was because last year for Mother's Day we went there and it was like the perfect, you couldn't have asked for anything better. It was just, the food was great. The service was unbelievable. We got lucky, which on Mother's Day, you never know. The place is so busy, you know? So I was telling my parents, like we could do that again, but it's probably not going to be as good as it was the first time. And so we show up.
Why did you suspect that?
Last time was almost too good to be true.
Okay.
And I feel like at a restaurant like that on a busy Mother's Day, they're all slammed. So if you get like even at a nice place, I think it's the
I
chances.
disagree with that
You do?
because we go out every single Mother's Day and we never had an issue.
We don't usually, but I'm like 2 years. Yes, last year was so good.
You go to the same place every year?
Yeah.
And
Not
how long have they been around?
Villa d'Aqua in
How long have they been
Belmont.
around? Yeah.
We've been going there for years.
So they've probably been in business for 30 years, 40
Yeah, they
years.
got it down to a science.
They got it down.
Places like this place 110, it's been around a little while, maybe 5-6 years, maybe.
But it's
feel like-
so big. That's why there's like so many people.
Yeah. And I just feel like if you're not established, like a place like an old place with a family history, and they got it down to the point where it's like that's just a well-oiled machine.
Special menu.
This 110, like if they change managers quickly a lot at the beginning of a place, I've delivered to this place, and I feel like
Me too.
you get the feeling that the management changes a lot, the chefs change a lot. Then 1 year to the next is
Completely different.
It's completely different.
So I just had a vibe. I was like, I don't know. It's just when something is so good 1 year, I'm like, I just don't expect it to happen the next year.
Yeah.
So we go there, and it's so busy. This place, you've been inside this place,
Yeah.
right? It's huge.
I've been inside it too.
Okay.
You were just like,
Well, because
I
he
couldn't-
delivered there.
I know, but it was,
I've wanted to
it
go
was
there.
like you looked at him like he could go. He's been there, but I'm like, nah, chick's never.
Well, I've
been
never
there.
eaten there.
No,
I've been there.
He literally just said he delivered there. That's what I was saying. Relax. I know you've been. It's not like the
I've been in there. I've been in the basement. I've been in the kitchen. I've been all over the place. I've been in the bathroom. I've just never eaten there.
finest.
So,
It's
but have
okay.
you been there on a non-holiday? Like just so you went there just for dinner one night or something
No,
like that?
I was more like a bar night
A bar night.
because they go like a little night.
Because I have
Night-
wanted to
night
go
game.
there for a while, just because it looks like a good
It
spot
looks
to go.
nice. Yeah,
I never had desire to go there.
I
I didn't
like
even want to
any-
be there the day I was there.
yeah. Why were you there? You went a nightlife thing? This
think
is
it
A
was
nightlife thing.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
what are you talking about?
Don't
I can't
worry,
imagine
just
you
go,
being
just
there.
go. I'm retarded.
No, you're not.
It's all right. You could keep my dumb comments in. Now you see him look when I said that.
So anyway, we get there, and the first thing the bread is not coming. You know when people around you are getting stuff that sat before you?
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck? And so we noticed we got our drinks. It took forever to get our drinks, and then the bread took a while. And finally my dad goes, I can see my dad getting heated, and he goes, he mentioned something. He's like, we didn't get bread yet. And they come out, the bread takes another 15 minutes. It was ridiculous. But I'm at the edge of my seat the whole time because I'm like, I just don't like confrontation. And I know my dad could blow a gasket very easily. So now we're waiting again. We're waiting. It's like comically how long we're waiting, to the point where even I'm like, all right, this is ridiculous. So they come over. My dad has to call the waiter, and this is where he goes.
So this
nuts.
is right off the bat. This happened.
Well, I mean, we're a good 40 minutes into it, and we haven't ordered anything.
Well, that's what I'm 40 minutes in, but you haven't even it's not like dinner was served.
we haven't
and-
even gotten
Yeah.
bread. Like it was nuts. So my dad, we get the guy over, and he goes, "I'm sorry, we haven't even ordered. We've been here for 40 minutes. Like it was nuts." And the guy does this. He takes his pen, which I didn't even realize. He starts clicking his pen. Okay, sir. What can we order? And that set my dad off.
Yeah.
That would set me off.
It set my dad off. The guy's in between my dad and my sister, both hotheads, and they both look at each other, and it sets them off. The clicking of the pen.
Yeah.
It was a little obnoxious
because that is a. Okay, now you're annoying me.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yeah.
such a.
As the guy is now saying the specials, my dad is going, oh, now he's pissed me off out loud. Oh, now he's pissed me off. Oh, he's got me going now. And he's looking around at us, and I'm like, and the guy is like, the waiter is just, so we have the sea bass, and while my dad is just
He's trying to finish the special.
and my dad, you know when people get angry and they smile?
Yeah.
And my dad's like, oh, it's not good. So I'm like, oh my God.
What is your mother doing?
Tom, please. My mom, because my nieces were there. So my mom's like, don't do this in front of the girls, you know, because it's traumatized. He traumatized me as a kid.
Is our good old buddy Rubber there?
Of course. He loves it.
He loves it.
He's sitting next to me, loving it.
Do you know? So his sister's husband is a good friend of mine growing up.
Yeah, he was on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Massage therapist, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes.
Yeah. So, all right, that's fine. We get the thing. We get our steaks.
Wait, he finished the specials and
He finished the specials. My dad was one thing my dad usually does is he blows up quick, but then he'll apologize. But in this case, he didn't.
He didn't calm down.
didn't-
He blew up quick. He didn't calm down quick.
because then our entrees were served, and I got a fillet, and it was burnt to a crisp. Me, my dad, and my sister.
And how'd you order it?
I did medium. I think my dad did medium rare. It was not good. Like you open it, which I was like,
With a busy kitchen. You order steaks in a
That's
busy
what I said.
kitchen.
I
They're
was
not watching them.
I knew it.
burning you should never burn.
It was well done.
That's what. But yeah, you should never burn a steak. But if
Even
you're in
I
a busy
know that.
if you're in a busy kitchen, that's more likely to happen.
That's
why-
right. Well, that's
the
why
problem.
the Mother's Day thing. I was like, you can't.
They don't have a guy assigned to watch steaks. They're throwing
Did they
them on. They're
have
doing other
a
stuff.
Special menu for this, or was it
Yeah.
the full menu?
Yeah. Oh, they did have the full menu, I believe.
See,
but
that's their number one problem. The place I go to, they do a special
There you
menu.
go. That's how you do it
It's
right.
a Mother's Day.
you
menu.
have to do a special.
Wouldn't even give me Alfredo because I was the guy who had to ask
You're
for
the
something
Alfredo
like.
guy.
I just try. I'm always the simple guy, but it's always like, do you got Alfredo? And they're like, no, sorry, today we can't.
You're
So obviously,
absolutely
it's nice to have options, but at the same time, when you have a limited menu, it's like we're gonna do all of this right. Like we can
Yeah.
add other stuff, but we can't promise we're not gonna fuck that up. You give me a full menu, it's like you can order any of this, but we're probably gonna fuck something up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
If
that's-
if
a
we're
great
limited
point.
to 6 things, we can do 6 things all day long.
yeah. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
If steak was one of 4 things you could order, those steaks are probably.
Then there's a
great.
steak guy because there's
just
so
a-
much steaks going. The
Yeah,
guy's
he's
just
just
banging
cooking
out.
steak.
You're absolutely right. And I
They're
don't
putting
think
out
they had
medium rares before they're even ordered. They're like, "Here's a
Yeah.
medium rare. Oh, good. We need one of those. Pop.
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
Yeah.
that. So the steaks come out. My dad's, let me tell you, this is ridiculous. I've never. So I already take a bite because I'm just like, whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna eat it. My dad's like, no, you're not. Send it back.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law.
I never send food back.
I don't like sending it back either. But this was actually.
I
terrible.
don't disagree.
And if you're paying a lot of money for this,
Yeah, that's the thing. This is going to be a
My
lot
thing
of
is,
money.
I'm gonna eat what you give me unless it's completely unedible, and then I'm gonna just ask for you got to do something at the end. I don't trust sending my food.
I don't
back.
either.
Give me something on the bill.
yeah.
So food gets sent back. Now my brother-in-law got the branzino, which usually comes out as a whole fish. It was like a little thing. It was not. That was bad. And everything was bad. So now they come out. The manager comes out. What?
I'm trying to remember because I just wanted to eat. Is like going back to sending something back. I'm trying to remember where I was and I got something. Something about it I didn't like. It wasn't like there was ruining the meal. I'm like, I just feel like if they did this a little
little
bit
better.
different, it would be better.
Yeah.
So I feel like I wanted to tell him afterwards. I said, listen, I'm not looking for any comps. I enjoyed it. I'm just saying for the future, if I came back, maybe do this instead, or maybe make this change.
Yeah.
But I didn't want them to think I was like complaining about the meal. I expected something, but like I would see like somebody might send this back because of this. Like I'm not that
guy.
person.
It's good to
But,
do that.
Hey, maybe afterwards, and like, yeah, don't take it off the bill. I'm willing to pay for it. I'm willing to eat it, but
You know, who's
in the
good?
future,
Jack Adams good with that stuff.
Yeah.
He'll like if we're out and something's not right,
verbalize
he'll verbalize stuff. Sometimes that makes me nervous, but
Yeah.
Well, that's my point. It's all about the delivery and how you do it. And I
Right.
guess
It
if
is.
you're really nice, you can send things back. But
Yeah.
this is not. But it was also you opened it up and it was clearly well done.
Yeah.
Fine. Send it back. Now they come back. The manager in the middle says, "I'm so sorry. You were lightly staffed. Blah blah blah."
lightly staffed on
Yeah,
Mother's Day.
like people called out. They didn't say I'm sorry. That was the thing that they never like owned up to their mistakes, which really started bothering me.
Yeah.
So now the manager comes out with the second fillets, and he does a very obnoxious thing. He goes,
Who's this?
the
That
manager,
does- okay.
the manager of the restaurant, or one of the managers, and he goes right to my dad. He goes, all right, sir, you're gonna open it, cut it from the middle, like talking to my dad, like he's never ordered a steak.
Yeah.
My dad's like, okay, yeah, I know. Cuts it open, well done again.
Oh,
The manager now
because they're
goes,
watching it.
refuses to. He goes. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the medium, which wasn't even medium. They came out shitty again.
Yeah.
Now the manager is not taking. He's not owning up to it.
Yeah.
He's just basically blowing it off. He's like just excuses nonstop. All right.
What is he saying? I'm sorry. I
don't remember exactly,
right.
but it was just that vibe, and he looked at mine was the same thing, and now the more I'm watching this guy, not all you have to do in that situation, be like, sir, I am incredibly sorry.
That's all anybody wants to hear.
That's all.
Is that I feel you. I understand you. You're right. That's on us.
Just be like, he was like, no, this is me. It wasn't like, and that's what bothered me. And this is what I said.
it should be bloody.
That's bad management.
What I say, sir, I'm in the restaurant business. This is not something I ever say. and he's looking at me and he's like, well, then you would know. This
You're
is
not only in the
immediate-
restaurant business. You're in the steak business.
Yeah, I'm in the steak.
I'm in the meat business.
So
Sir, I'm a meat man.
yeah, there's a good chance I brought this meat here.
Yeah.
and I am not happy. With
This
the
is what
way-
you're doing with the meat I give
This
you?
is not-
Why am I even bringing this here? You're going to destroy it?
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. No
Cut
more
off.
meat. Cut
That's how it
off.
felt. That's
no
how
more.
it felt.
No more cows for you,
They don't
bro.
get, and we got the good quality stuff. You know, so now the guy we're yelling at him
going-
now. Now we're all yelling at him because this is ridiculous.
No, this is the manager. They're not
This is
even
the
the
manager,
waiter.
and then he walks away, and I'm watching him, and he's like rolling his eyes, like he's like, I can't believe these people are this dissatisfied.
I just want to be like, yeah, I would have been like, you're charging me a lot of money. You promised a level of service. Like, you have this big thing.
Yes.
Well, I'm willing to pay for it if it's good, but it's got to be good.
That's
you
the
can't
thing.
just charge money and then just give shit. Like, you got to
Yeah.
give what
And then do it and expect people to be like,
Yeah.
oh, all right. Like, it's,
you want to, you get this nice building, all this fancy stuff in here. That's meaningless. If the food's shit,
I just don't get how the manager cannot, like, to me, it's so obvious when a steak is rare meat.
It was very obvious.
like,
Right.
it shouldn't even be debatable.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not bleeding, it's not medium rare. If there's not a lot of pink in that fucking
Yeah.
middle, it's not medium.
yeah, how can you not, how can you look at it and not be like,
that's what even me, like I don't complain. Like if I got it, I'd be like, all right, whatever, that sucked. But my dad's like, listen, these are $65 for a little fillet.
Yeah.
It's like this is going to be an expensive meal. We're buying wine and
He should have told them, like, yo, I just got laid off. I saved up to take my whole family to
sob
this.
story. No, my dad's not the sob. My
I
dad
know,
just
I'm just
goes
saying.
after him. I thought my dad was going to like physically fight the guy after like he
That's
wouldn't,
hilarious.
and he like almost he was like rolling his eyes.
so how was dessert?
Oh, we didn't make it to dessert.
My place, we had great dessert.
We
Everything
had
was
great dessert last
fantastic.
year. We're like we're willing to pay. My dad's like, we're willing to pay. Like we're here for the
Yeah.
total experience. Shit. That middle manager, there was like 3 managers that came up. They kept one would come and then
Did
they're like
anybody at any point take any responsibility for it?
they took $100 off.
That's it?
Only $100. But yeah.
Did it seem like any other tables near you were also struggling with? Was there anybody else arguing with it?
There was a person over to the right that they're seeing. We were so invested in our own drama.
Yeah.
But I think my sister, somebody said there was somebody with a grumpy face next to us. But who knows?
A
could've-
grumpy face.
that could've
Look,
been-
these people, but that could have been the person she was with.
It could have been anything. So yeah, it was a 110 restaurant. It was
Fuck 110
it was.
restaurant.
So now I'm going to go there because I do still want to go there. I'm going to go there on a non-busy day, and I'll give a fair assessment
You
to
give
how
a
this
fair
place is
assessment.
on a non-holiday.
You
Much-
should go there and be like, yo, I heard you guys overcook your steaks.
Much like chicks' ratings, one time it was a 10, but the next time it was a 2.
Yeah.
So it kind of evens out. I would have to go back again.
Whoa, what ratings?
Your
Personality.
likability,
Yeah.
personality rating.
Oh.
Whoa, wait a second now.
I was like, what do I rate high and low?
So yeah, that was pretty much it, and it was it sucked.
Yeah, that's too
sucked.
bad.
That is
so-
awful.
It's always funny watching. Well, not funny in the moment, but it's when it happened. I was like, oh, I got to talk.
But your dad hates when you're laughing at him.
Well, yeah, I
get angry.
But you know,
because one Christmas he got angry about something, and then
remember that?
you said, "Well, I just listened to the episode." Yeah, and you said the thing that really sent them off was you laughing at
me
it.
laughing,
and then
at the
he had to say,
He's
"You and
picking
your
up on
fucking laugh."
everything now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
I
came-
love it.
he
I'm a
came
fan
after
of the Adult Babies podcast pre me. You know? Truly, I am. Like I'm a fan. Like
I
I
love
would,
it. I
like, I
like
would listen.
that.
Like I would listen to this podcast. Yeah.
I have listened to like older episodes. And
Yeah.
I'm like, we're good. I like it.
Yeah.
One thing my dad did like me speaking up. He's like, I got to tell you, I liked when you spoke up
Because
like
he
that.
needs somebody else in the family to back
You
him
finally gained some respect from your father. Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, because he's finally like, my son's been a pussy his whole life.
No,
He always wants to be liked, and he's scared to ruffle some feathers. But
Hey,
sometimes
but your
you
mother's like,
gotta.
no, I got to deal with him too. Brendan
Yeah.
was always my sweet boy who didn't,
no.
add to the problem.
Well, I also in this situation, I get it on a restaurant that it's a lot.
Did Rubber speak up at all?
No,
At all? Not even one thing?
there was nothing for him. What is he gonna say?
Well, did your sister?
We were my sister, we were all kind of.
It was the Ryans.
When
Ryans.
when the second round of steaks came out and they were bad, and the managers like cut into it, like, let me show you what we've done,
Yeah.
and it was messed up again. Then like the three of us, you got to be kidding here, you know? It was one of those.
And you don't from a restaurant point, you air to the sides of undercooked, like you cook it, but you
Yes.
undercook it because
'Cause
you
you
can
could
put it
always
back
back
on the
on the
fire.
grill.
You can't put the blood back in it.
Especially if it's already.
squirt it with some red.
Yeah.
Like, oh, see, it's
There's,
rare.
there's some beet juice in there.
Yeah. Especially if it's already been taken back. So
I would almost, especially if someone sent something back, I would like make it like over
That's-
the top,
you would think, you would
raw.
think.
Like it wouldn't even be cooked. It would just be like
Yeah.
on there for 5
Like my
seconds.
uncle used to say, my sister loves like rare steak,
Mm.
and like my uncle would be like, "Jesus Christ!" He goes, "A well-trained veterinarian could bring that thing back to life."
that's a great line. That's funny.
There are people I don't understand who could eat things like raw like that.
I can't do it raw. I'm a medium guy.
I'm a well done. I probably would have enjoyed those steaks.
well
I like
done,
medium
Steve.
rare, but I always my preference is a skirt steak, and it's like really kind of it's such a thin.
You know what?
I like the
medium.
skirt steak,
I
though.
like the medium. Maybe not
Yeah.
well.
Medium's good.
Mediums are.
But it's like I feel like with a skirt steak, the the level of whatever it is. What
it's
is
not a
level
great
of-
steak.
It's
right?
not. What's that?
It's not. Isn't that like?
It's like I think it's one of the more flavorful steaks. It holds the marinade really well. It's like I
But
like the
people, I
texture
feel
of it.
like, don't give skirt steak its due credit. It's not
For
like,
years, it was like garbage steak.
That's
and
what I
then
feel
within
like.
the last 10 years, it's become like a more like. And the chefs will tell you, he goes, that was the steak that we kept for ourselves because we knew
Yeah.
like it wasn't marketable, but we knew how good it was. It was like lobster. Lobster used to be trash food.
Really?
Lobster used to be like for peasants to eat.
really.
Yeah. And then it became like they marketed it to be like, oh no, this is like high end food.
So because I'm not really a steak guy, I'm curious now. What's the levels of steak, like top tier steaks to bottom?
Well, what's
Like
the
London broil's
well-
the worst.
I mean, I feel like as a
So
kid, we used to eat London broil because it was like
But
a big
that's what I
strip
mean.
of it.
It's
and you
just
just
an
take strips
easier
of.
cook too, though. But like,
Yeah.
what's like?
I mean,
Well,
it's
filet
like
mignon.
like the
Filet mignon, I guess,
Bentley
is
of
the
steaks?
filet mignon. I guess is the highest of steaks, right?
Filet,
Is
the
filet mignon the
porterhouse.
highest?
You put him on the spot because he should know this because he's in
You
the
should
game.
know this
Yeah.
second nature to
Well,
him.
no, I mean, I just throw them in a box. I don't cut them.
I used to know more
I'd
because
say-
I used to be the meat man where I worked in the warehouse. I used to be part of the meat, so it was like Pismos.
I don't even know where
Pismos
they.
are big.
The Pismos are what you slice into a filet mignon.
Yeah,
so,
that's like the Pismos are the filet before it's filleted.
yeah.
So what's the filet? Like I don't even know.
That's
what
like
part.
the little. It's like a little.
No, I know
round.
what it looks like, but I'm saying where.
Oh, I don't know on the
What
cow where
part
it
of the
comes
cow?
from.
Yeah, do you guys know that stuff?
No. I hate there's a if you
Is this too much?
Wading
You want
River.
us to not talk about this?
No, I mean this is part of life. I just
Right.
I'm happy that I'm not contributing, so I can talk about it. But I'm always like the more I talk about it, it disgusts me.
D,
So
what
like
a piece of shit. You guys had 6 fucking steaks.
in the
And
trash.
you didn't even eat any of them.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I would send back a piece of meat because I'm gonna be like, if I don't, this goes right in the garbage. It breaks my heart to throw meat out.
Do you think?
His
Do you
family
think it
fucking...
goes into the garbage, or do you think somebody?
Maybe so staff. Maybe
I think
somebody
staff
eats it.
takes it.
How much could the staff eat? Half the time the staff don't want it. And that's
Yeah.
a fact.
Yeah.
Half what?
Like, I bet you the staff doesn't really want half the shit that's being cooked. there.
Possibly,
But
but
work-
I've seen people.
But working in the business, I've seen meat go right in the trash and
Yeah.
dairy go
Yeah.
right in the trash, and it's heartbreaking because I'm like, you think about, I'm already heartbroken at the idea of we're eating meat, but I got if we're eating it, you're eating. That's one thing. But then to like overcook it or just to let it go to waste, and now we're just sitting in the trash.
That's why
I
you
think about
can't
that
overcook
But you
animal.
realize the
like-
animal's already dead.
yeah, but that's another animal now that's got to be killed to replace the meat that they didn't cook properly. You
Well,
know what
that
I mean?
animal's already dead too. It's not like they went out back and slaughtered.
Yeah, but
it.
we're only killing these animals to keep up with the demand of it. Oh, so the demand.
you're
if you're
wasting
wasting
the
food,
demand.
then you're
It's all-
raising the demand. Is
I used to say that about paper. I said, what does it matter how much paper I use? Look how much paper's in this fucking Staples right now. It's already there.
right, but it's if you're wasting paper, then it's creating more.
Trust me,
it's like fur.
understand
It's
it.
like
yeah, you're
Yeah.
using it. It's
yeah. There's a great comic. I saw him do one show ever, and it was like a hilarious joke. And I don't really remember the beats of it, but I remember it was about how people used to throw paint on women with fur coats, like that they hated. It was like, oh, you and your fur.
and
throw,
they technically ruin it.
and it's
more
like,
than-
Oh,
he goes,
yeah.
yeah, but these women have money. Like they're gonna go buy another fur coat. He's like, so now you've just like they had a fur coat. And the animal was like, and then he did like the animal's point of view. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because they had a fur coat. Now we're gonna die because they're gonna need another fur coat. It's like they already had it. Like you just
already
ruined
had
it.
it. You
They're not
ruined-
gonna be like, oh, you ruined my fur coat. I guess that's it for fur coats. They're gonna go get another fucking fur coat.
Do
yeah,
they still do the paint on the fur
yeah,
coat?
I'm
No.
sure they do.
That
There's a
used to
spot.
be-
I pass a fur coat place on the way to work every day, and every day I fantasize about throwing a rock through the window or something like that. I shouldn't have said that because if somebody does that, it's
Yeah.
like fingers pointed right at me. Like I wouldn't destroy the fur because of that very reason, but I'm like I want to cause them some stress.
You wanna-
if I just keep breaking their window, maybe to put them out of business. You know,
I just feel like so if I was like, yo, I got a fur coat guy, and then I started selling fur coats, but they're already there. But then
yeah, but you understand?
I know I get
We're
You're
it.
right
creating
back
a
at
need.
square
You're
one.
creating
I know,
a need for
I know.
more. Like you throw meat in the garbage. I remember even just like I eat dairy, but I wish I would love to at one point stop eating dairy as well and go full vegan because it's also really the same business. And,
Why you're milking the cow?
yeah, but it
It's not like you're killing the cow. You're just sitting there jerking
right,
off.
but the conditions for the cow are horrible.
No,
like
I
they-
know,
they're,
I
they've
know.
like slammed into a
They
thing,
slammed in there
and
just
it
to get
and it causes
fucking yoinked on.
Yeah,
Yoinked.
it promotes.
You stop talking about getting yoinked.
It
Yeah.
promotes.
We don't need to hear anything about.
I got so much. Well,
It
not
promo-
so
I just want to
much.
say it promotes veal production as well,
Okay.
which
I don't
is
like
like
veal.
it's just the worst of it. Like now you're dealing with like to keep the ability to milk a cow, you got to keep it pregnant, and then if they get a
Wait, every cow that's getting milked is pregnant?
well, I don't know if it just increases productivity, but it's like you have to like impregnate
Keep fucking
cows.
the cow?
Yeah, and then if they have a cow, then they
They
put
just
that
inseminate
they
those
send
cows,
that
though,
to
right?
veal. Now you're like you're
Oh, it's a whole circle.
so
Of,
it's a whole thing. So the dairy business is really almost
Go
as
for a
cruel
good tall
as.
glass of chocolate milk right now. No, I'm just.
Well, I love ice cream, right? But like I remember one day.
I didn't even think about that. Is there artificial ice cream that's like?
There's Ben and Jerry's has a full line of non-dairy ice cream now. It's actually pretty good. Yeah.
Is it though? Be honest.
Yeah, no, it's
Is it,
non-dairy.
though?
It's
Is
not.
it
It's
good
not as.
enough
It's
to
not as good.
replace?
Yeah. If I put a gap of maybe 6 months and then you start to like forget
Oh,
what real
yeah,
ice cream
yeah.
tastes like. But if you have them side by side, there is a clear difference, and real ice cream is better. But it's good. Like it's creamy. It's
You know what I like after
I've
a
had
good
I've
meal?
had great vegan ice cream for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be good.
No,
I've had
yeah.
just like I'm a regular like after my Mother's Day meal, I had just a couple scoops of vanilla ice cream. Like that was one of their desserts.
fantastic.
And I always think it's so underrated. Just nothing on it. Literally.
Oh, I
no
agree.
s-
A good good ice cream, just straight
I
up.
love a good vanilla.
So do I.
It's just.
What was I going to say? Something.
I don't know.
I don't forget.
I also love strawberry ice cream.
Oh yeah,
You
that's,
would.
yeah. I love
don't
strawberry.
love
ice cream, too.
strawberry?
No, I'm joking. It's not.
Strawberry.
Oh, but so at work, I'll deliver a lot of ice cream sometimes. Sometimes my cooler won't be running as cold like in the middle of summer. Like if my reefer unit isn't staying cold enough, and like I have ice cream for my last stop, it's got to stay like 0 degrees in my truck for it to stay frozen.
Yeah.
If it gets up to like 30 degrees, even though it's under freezing, it's not. Ice cream needs to be like.
But do you
10
like
degrees.
that though? That soupy ice cream?
No, because now I'm doing it to a customer, and I'm
that's
handing
true.
them soupy ice cream. Like they send it back. Now
Yeah.
it's garbage. I've gotten back to the warehouse, and there's been like
Pallets?
gallons of ice cream. Because they come in like 3-gallon bins.
So it makes you sick, huh?
And like that, I got to throw it in the garbage.
Do you
And
just
I'm like,
sit there
all
with
that
a
ice cream,
spoon?
all those cows that have just sat there milked for this ice cream for nothing.
You
for
think
nothing.
those cows don't like being milked?
They don't like being held into a little thing and just like they just sit there with
Do you
stuff.
think they mind being milked?
It's not probably it's probably not comfortable. Probably
Why
it's probably
not?
something painful.
Maybe it
seems
feels
like a
good.
release.
Maybe it's a
It's
release.
like you have suction things on you.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it's a
maybe
lease,
it's
but
a
you don't think that.
release.
What do you think they'd rather do? Be stuck in a stall that's the size of them being
But what
milked,
about
or
people
being
who take care
or being
of
a field
their-
eating grass?
Can't those field cows be milked too?
Yeah, but then the production, the cost, it's not cost effective. So
But
they
what
don't do
if
that.
it's not on the mass production, just a family cow?
Sure, that's fine.
Now,
You think they hate getting tugged by the family?
I don't know. Maybe not.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a
Yeah.
baby sucking.
But if
on
you're
it.
buying that kind of milk or that kind of ice cream that was made from that, you're paying twice as
Is
much
that
money
milk you
for
think
it.
a lot better?
Like unpasteurized milk?
Yeah.
Probably.
What?
Yeah.
They don't pasture. They don't do anything to
Well,
it.
yeah, I
when
don't
they-
think you're
when
supposed
they-
to drink unpasteurized milk to begin with, but
No,
people
right?
do. But people do, and I think it's
Why?
like a whole
What is?
different.
What's the?
I don't know. I'm speaking above my head right now.
Okay. All right. But I would imagine. I thought there was like a filter situation.
now
that
do
when they-
cows have to? I'm sorry.
You
Sorry.
can't drink the milk right from the cow
I think you can.
without dying or getting sick.
Yeah, I think you can.
I think you can, but it's
Does it
gross.
taste like the milk I'm
I don't
getting
know.
out of store?
Probably no.
Is it
I don't
better
think
or
so.
worse? Is it like
I don't
whole
know.
milk?
I
Like
really don't know.
super
I've never had it.
I feel like it's creamy.
Like I've seen people be like, oh, they do it like, oh, try this, and
Chunks.
it's like,
I feel like there's chunks.
I think the pasteurizing is,
chunks.
chunks.
yeah, probably. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. what
There's
comes
got to
out.
be then some filter situation that the families who actually milk their cows to drink.
We
milk
got to get a
do.
dairy farmer on this podcast pronto. Now, I have another question that we don't have an answer for. Does the milk have to be milked out for it to come out, or will it? If you let a cow roam, will the milk release on its own?
No,
Like
'cause they
sometimes a
pee.
woman will leak breast
Yeah,
milk. Will a cow leak breast milk?
Yes,
Yeah, but maybe just
Probably not
leak.
enough.
Yeah,
but it won't like.
Probably just a drip.
But what does
yeah,
that
you
milk
can't just
have
put
to
you
get
can't just
out?
hang a bucket under it and let it eventually come back 2 hours later and it's filled. It's probably
But does that milk have to come out, or could it stay in there?
That's why I think they like to get released because
Well,
girls
just
even
the same-
say when they have milk and you can feel it, it's like pressure.
But if they keep milking, if a woman keeps breastfeeding, they'll keep producing milk. But if they stop feeding, if they
dries
stop,
up.
then that's when they stop producing milk.
Yes, but if you're actively doing it,
Right, but the same
And-
thing. I'm saying same thing with the cow. Like he said, do you have to milk it? Can it just stay in there?
did you ever
No,
see
you can
somebody
probably
who
stop
feels
milking.
like who's like breastfeeding and they say it's like they feel
Regretfully,
like
I've
they
never
need
been
to-
with a pregnant woman.
I
I
you
say
never
regretfully.
talked to anybody.
I was like, I would love
I've
to
never
be
had
with
anybody, but I remember I've talked to women.
No,
and
I
they
never-
could,
yeah.
like, I feel like they say it's like sometimes it feels good to release.
Yeah,
Sure, I'm sure it does. But if they stop, if they get through that, then they'll stop producing milk.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
if
would
they get
imagine the
through that.
same thing would happen
Three
with the
men
cow.
who've never had any kids talking about
Oh,
breastfeeding.
this is what podcast is.
Yeah, this is
It's white guys talking about shit they have no business talking about.
There's probably so many women like these fucking
Fucking
idiots.
Morons.
That's all right.
But I
Call
think
in.
I'm relatively right.
In,
Call
four,
in
in, four,
and
in
let us
4
know.
or 5 weeks, we're going to start promoting the live podcast because I want people to be on
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So I really want to start pushing people to come into that. But if you want to correct some shit we've said over the last,
Yeah,
year,
I've just had people tell me how gross my thing was last week.
Yeah,
so-
people were very disgusted.
which I personally, and I'm not going to get into it again because I was
Please
like, wow,
don't.
I shouldn't have talked about it. But I still will honestly say I don't understand how like nesting and throwing it out is.
nesting.
Nesting.
Well, I don't know
That's
how.
how
else.
you've coined the
Well,
term.
somebody
You've
called
coined
it-
the term for your own
somebody
masturbation
called it-
style.
Don't walk in
Somebody
his door.
called
He's
it-
nesting.
Somebody called it a tissue condom.
Oh God.
I don't get why it's so gross. I don't understand.
It just seems uncomfortable. And like now you didn't want to like talk about it last week. Now you're bringing it back up to talk about it. It just seems like it's more uncomfortable. And if you keep a towel close by, don't you have a heads up before the mess comes
I
out?
know, but now
so
I
just
know-
like be
Maybe
ready.
he forgets.
Like,
I don't know.
I would
No,
sometimes
it's
prepare
not
myself.
that.
It's
beforehand.
the only time he's ever been prepared in his life.
I just feel like it's such a smart way to do it and clean that I don't understand the disgust, but I don't want
A
to.
lot of the disgust is just you.
I think it's just me, the thought of me doing it.
When you talk about sexual acts in any way, there's something gross about it. And I don't know what it is.
It's because you
the
don't find
voice.
me attractive or my voice,
It's
my
the
raspy voice.
It's
Yeah.
the voice.
It's the worst. I still have sometimes I wake up and with hot sweats of thinking about you going like this.
Oh, God almighty.
I mean, I like to think I don't look like that when I'm doing things,
right.
but whatever.
Although I think when you said that, I think Monique did get turned on. I think she liked the idea of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know what girls like.
He knows what they like.
I know what girls like. So I went out for Mother's Day, to, like I said, to Red Lobster.
Yes, how
Next
was that?
day, Red Lobster closed down.
Yes,
Because of
because of Ryan.
was it closing down because it was just not doing good, or because
I think they know that they had a pretty good Mother's Day turnout, which I had no idea. Like to me, I was like trash. I'm like, I can't believe we're going to Red Lobster on Mother's Day, but that's what my mother likes. But then I heard like a News 12 report, like, and they asked the woman about it, and she goes, "Oh, we used to go every year for Mother's Day." I'm like, "Is this a thing? People going to Red Lobster on Mother's Day?" So I think they probably know we get a pretty good turnout on Mother's Day. So let's stay open. Let's make our last nut on this day. And then they're not closing all the stores. They're closing a lot of stores, but the one that I went to closed down. Like, but they didn't let anybody know. The staff showed up to just a closed door that said, "We're sorry to inform you that you know
they
you
didn't.
no longer have a job." Yeah,
These
That's
people
messed
are
up.
fucking awful
Gross.
in life.
That is terrible.
yeah. So I'm like, I can't believe. And you know what's funny is I really enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to be. And I was saying to my sister, I'm like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good." I'm like,
wanna come back.
I'm like, we should come back here, for like just for regular. And like, nope.
So what's
we
the
shut it
Red
down.
Lobster that you have to go to now if you
I don't know
want
the
to?
closest one.
I don't know if is there going to be one on Long Island?
Well, there's a pretty popular one in like Valley Stream,
Oh, okay.
which I don't know if I can
that's
emotionally go there,
That's
but I got some like bad experiences in Valley Stream. So
Do
anytime
you?
I go there, I start twitching like a Valley Stream.
I didn't know you had.
But for a Red Lobster, but there's got to be one closer by than that.
because I saw that the very next day. I meant to reach out to you about
Yeah.
that. That's,
Yeah, it was
that's
pretty good.
interesting.
But it's so funny that and what happened with all the food that was in the building?
Oh,
That day.
I don't
You
even.
know-
I didn't even want to bring
you
that
know-
up.
you
I
know-
didn't want to see you have a meltdown here about all those
all the-
lobsters going in the trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know they didn't cook the exact amount of food that they ordered. You know, they had a
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of stuff left over.
Well, I guess maybe they go somewhere. I don't know.
Well, at the end of the day, we're like, "Oh, we're so sorry. We're out of this. We're out of that. We're out of that." Because
Yeah.
I knew that they were not going to.
Yeah, we're out of this for good.
Or maybe they just send a truck and shipped it to one of the open Red Lobsters.
I'm sure they do that.
That's probably what they do.
That's definitely what they do.
For my comfort, so I can sleep at night. That's what they did with everything.
Yeah, for the sake of the podcast of
Yeah.
you going off the rails about
Uh-huh.
food. Yes.
Have we talked about Baby Reindeer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
I finally watched it.
Yeah, we did talk about it. And I said how bad his act was. Remember?
Yes.
That's what I was curious because I watched.
I
it
said
and
that was his real comedy and how bad it was.
Is that the real guy?
Yeah. That's
Tell me
his
the
story.
guy's real story though. Is that like?
That's it. He said he embellished some things for better
So it was
storytelling.
like the whole thing is that girl really got arrested and all that. and-
She didn't get. She might have got arrested. She never got jail time.
Embellished that.
He embellished that. He kind of owned up to the things. But then did you see that woman was on Pierce?
Yeah, she came out.
Pierce
The real
No,
woman?
Pierce Brosnan.
No.
Pierce Morgan.
Oh,
Pierce
the
Morgan.
guy who
Piers.
does. Isn't that guy has a good talk show in Britain, right?
Yeah, he just seems like a bit of an asshole. Like a,
Piers Morgan.
I think I know.
so she
Yeah,
came
but
on. She wanted
The
to like.
red
She wants to like.
couch?
I don't think he's got a
No.
red couch.
No, you're thinking of a different guy.
Mm.
You're thinking of. I know that guy's name, but no.
He always has like 4 guests, and it's actually
Yeah, I
pretty
know.
funny to be honest.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that show is funny. I see clips on the internet.
Yeah, I see
Yeah, what
clips,
is that
but
guy's name?
I have no idea, but I kind of
I
enjoy
know it.
Not Greg Guffield, right?
No, God, no. That's awful.
But anyway, I'm getting off
That's
track. so-
honestly, you ever watched that show? Like clips
I
of that show?
haven't, but I know.
It looks
There's comics. I know
entertaining.
comics who work for
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, how are they putting out such bad content? Like these are professional comics.
Oh,
it
that
gets
one?
great ratings. I'm like, this is awful content.
We know like the head writer over there, you know.
Yeah,
So yeah, I know. I've never watched it, but I do see a lot of clips.
it's amazing how bad it
People
is.
love it though. People
They
love
love it
this
because
show.
they love it because it's right wing. Like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, it's a right wing point of view with like like an attempt at humor, which is the only show like that exists.
Do you think
But
that's
if you look
why
at actual,
hate it too, though?
no, I don't like the point of view for sure. But the actual jokes, it's like it's new comic level comedy, and I think the head writer is a funny, like he's a great joke writer.
Great.
And I look at these, I'm like, you're better than this. I don't know how you put this bad level of bad stuff on there. It's amazing.
I
That's
haven't
all.
actually
That's,
seen
that's
it.
off the topic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back to
Graham Norton.
Graham Norton. His
Graham
show looks
Norton.
actually very good.
That's a great show.
Graham Norton.
So I'm sorry, but what were you saying? Baby Reindeer.
So she was on. She's like the real woman came out, and like she wants to sue the show for like defamation of character.
Good for her. Go get
Yeah.
yours.
But it's not. But then she made herself look even worse. Like
Yeah.
she looks
Why?
like a crazy.
She already is she huge like that too?
She acted like none of it happened. She goes, I sent him maybe 5 text message or 10 emails tops. And she's like, well, you understand, like he can show the emails. Like they have like IP addresses and they know where it came from. She goes, are you willing to, if you sue them, she goes, it's going to come out. They're going to do the research. And are you willing to do that? And she's like, well, maybe I won't sue him. You know, like
the transgender person he was dating, was that a guy trying to be a girl?
it was a transgender woman. It was a, you know.
Guy to woman.
Yeah.
Okay. I was
So
getting
hot.
confused. No.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
I thought so.
Thick eyebrows. Made me
Yeah.
miss mine.
I wasn't sure.
I
if
used
it
to
was,
a bit in my act about how I'm so don't care about like transgender. Like if I find a person attractive, I don't care what gender they are or like what like if they have
as far as sexually, could you move forward with that?
Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
see, I don't know if I could.
Pre-op, post-op doesn't like
Pre-op,
if
post-op.
I'm
Really?
attracted to somebody, I don't care. Like and a
Interesting.
penis doesn't turn me off enough to turn me away.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And I also, by the way, I credit Jim Norton. I don't think Jim Norton gets enough credit for like I feel like I probably felt that way my whole life.
Normalizing it?
Yeah. And he's talked about it for years, and other comics have
Yeah.
talked. Ian Finance has talked about it, like how he likes it. And I feel like Ian Finance was inspired by Jim Norton because he's been a fan for years.
So Jim
And just-
Norton is the leader of all of it.
I truly think so. He's been talking about it for 15 years about how he likes women, like he's attracted to women who have a penis, and like he whatever reason. And other guys have talked about it. And he talks about how people write him a lot. Thank you so much for talking about it. I've felt like I can be honest about what I like. And like there's
makes
porn,
sense.
there's porn about it, and
Oh, well, trust me.
Yeah.
I've seen the porn.
I feel the same way. Like, yeah, if I'm attracted to you, but some guys, and actually it's funny because you guys just talked about the show You on the podcast I
Oh,
listened to.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
used to
And
love that
you said
show.
there was a woman on there that was a transgendered woman, and you thought she was attractive,
Yes.
and you were worried that it was a woman. You found it. He's like, oh, I don't want to find out. I thought she was hot, and then I found out she's a dude. And that's the way a lot of people feel. But I'm like, oh my god, it's a guy. You know, she's got a penis.
Yeah.
So people will do that. They'll show you a picture of like guys. That's like a prank. Like, oh, check out this girl, huh? She's hot. And then when you say she's hot, she goes, well, guess what? She's got a dick.
yeah.
And you gotta be like, oh, I can't believe I thought she was hot. She's got a dick.
There's a great.
And like,
I will give
I'm like,
credit to be like, oh, she's good looking. I guess
like anytime that's ever
whatever.
happened to me, people will be like, oh, she's got a dick. I'm like, really? Sick. Like, I don't care. Like,
I couldn't do anything, but I could give hats off. Like, good for you.
hats off.
Yeah.
There's a great clip of there's this this guy on WFAN, Joe Beningo. You know him?
Benigno.
There's a great clip of when they showed him. This is years ago. They showed him Caitlyn Jenner and didn't tell him who
Yeah.
it was. And, oh, bro, she's beautiful. Look at her. Oh my. Nah, she's. And then they're like, that's Bruce Jenner. What? No,
Yeah.
bro. I don't know what you're talking about. It's hilarious.
so it was like he regretful that he thought she was hot, but also
I think he owned. He was like,
Yeah.
hey.
but she's not. I mean, well, I feel like if she thought he was,
I
if he
don't-
thought
she's
if he
not
thought she was hot,
good
but like
looking.
that's not attractive.
No, I don't think so either. But this is like, remember that Vogue or whatever?
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
on like a
Oh,
cover.
so they
or
really
something.
dolled her up.
Yeah, they dolled her up.
I just watched that John Mulaney show, and they
What'd you
had.
think?
I think it's a shit show most of the time, but I
Yeah.
just watched the
Yeah.
Letterman one. You were right; that one was
It
hilarious.
was hysterical.
Letterman was fine. That woman, I
That
already
wo-
forget
I don't
her name.
remember her name.
She was killer.
Fucking
Lunel?
killer.
Lunel, yeah,
Lunel,
yeah.
yeah, she's really
She
funny.
was fucking.
And then they had
killer.
Bill Hader. I love Bill Hader's laugh. I think Bill Hader's so funny, but him laughing at other people
Makes me laugh.
is so
Yeah.
fucking funny.
He's got the most contagious
Him
laugh.
and Pete Davidson. And
Laughing.
I'm not like Pete Davidson. I like, but they couldn't even keep a straight face in the whole.
Them laughing at Lunel, like
Oh.
I couldn't get enough.
I
of
couldn't
that.
get
I
enough
just-
of that. I thought that episode was so good
I love professional funny people really laughing, having a
because
good time.
you could tell they were just getting a kick out of her doing the whole thing.
Letterman was funny. That's just I thought
He
that
did
episode
good
was
with
great.
her because he didn't like. He could have just been like
Yeah.
whatever, but he kind of embraced it a little.
Yeah,
It was
but
good.
there's some train wrecks. Like every like field piece they do, I'm like
Oh,
just
the field pieces were terrible.
Yeah, I didn't
awful.
like the
Every
field
time I
pieces.
said to Monique, I'm like, you got David Letterman sitting on the couch, a goddamn living legend, and you're talking over here about like there's some bullshit. Like, if I was John Mulaney, I would be like, cut, like cut into the piece. Like this isn't working. Like let's just go back to
Yeah.
talking to David Letterman
And take calls.
take phone calls because
Yeah.
that's funny.
They
Yeah.
could have did that for an hour, and I would have been probably more.
I feel like if they were gonna make the show like again, they might be like, yeah, this is what's funny about this show is having you got a couch full of people. Because then they would show like
Jon Stewart's episode.
I didn't watch that yet. I want to cringe watch
he
that.
just tried to
that Cedric the Entertainer bit where like they're talking about his makeovers, and like you could see like Dave Letterman like on the couch in the background, like in the dark, and like he's just sitting there awkwardly. I'm like, just go back to David Letterman.
Yeah.
This Cedric thing is not working. Like, just wrap this up.
What was the Cedric thing? I don't.
He did a makeover, but he just made everybody over to look like Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh yeah,
which was a funny premise.
Yeah.
It just didn't play. Yeah. Like I
none of those field ones really.
Nothing.
You know,
that's not true. They did a field piece for the Oh Hello Boys where they did a tour of LA. But they're just so like now you got more John Mulaney and Nick Kroll doing something they've been doing for years. That's great.
When
that
they
was
got
great.
that wasn't bad.
Yeah, and they wanted to go just see the Manson mansions.
I didn't see that.
I just love those characters.
I enjoyed Nick Kroll. He's like a guilty pleasure.
I just watched the John Mulaney special.
His special's great.
The Baby J.
His Baby J.
I thought that was great. Does he have a new one out?
No, Baby
I just
J
hadn't watched
his
this one.
Special.
I like John Mulaney as a person. I just never loved his stand up. I like it. I think he's a great comic. I was always like, yeah, I get why people like this. I just yeah. But I thought this was great, and he had a line in there that I related to so much, where he said likability is a prison. I'm like, I've thought that so many times. Like, I'm so worried about people liking me, and like it handcuffs you to be like who you are.
Yeah, babe.
And he said like how freeing it was to be exposed for all this because now he doesn't care what people think about him.
Yeah,
right.
And it's like that can be so freeing to just give up on that.
Do that the interview that he did that he didn't remember.
I didn't like that only because I feel like he was selling it to be a guy that was like all strung out on coke. Like he was, but if you just read that normally, that's just a regular John Mulaney interview. Nothing he said there was out of character for John Mulaney. He was just performing it as a guy who was like coked up saying crazy shit.
I enjoyed it.
Like that,
I loved it.
To have like I
bought into it.
Like talk about if you heard that my spoon that was I dropped my Fruit Loops. Like that's something that wouldn't have been crazy for John Mulaney to say.
Right.
And like he performed in that era in his life. He like was producing shows when he was on coke, and he just seemed like John Mulaney. So I don't think that
I saw him live during that time period, and you wouldn't.
It was fine.
Yeah,
he was just like he seemed like.
But then again,
I guess could have been on a big bender for
during
that.
the pandemic. I think was a big thing where
and the fact that he didn't remember the interview, so he probably was really whacked out.
Yeah,
so maybe he was like really.
Some people could just take it and just.
I know functioning drug addicts or people who have functioned as drug addicts who were still very good at what they do.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was great. So that's I don't know.
I haven't finished most of his,
I love John Mulaney stuff. All of it was good. Did you watch him on Letterman?
No, I'm anxious to do that.
So what's that? Is that Letterman doing his sit down thing again?
It's with it's one of what do you call it?
Yeah,
my next guest.
My next guest. I like that show.
Yeah,
I haven't watched
excellent.
Yeah, I love.
I haven't watched the new one.
He did one with who was it? Who I didn't think I was gonna like. It was like a controversial person or I don't remember.
Politician, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It was.
Can't believe we're gonna talk about P Diddy, the P Diddy video. You seem to be up on this P Diddy thing.
So Diddy, did you see what he did to his ex?
Yeah. The video of the hotel.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Cassie.
It's just so.
That's it, man. That's incriminating.
When you're
that's
a gay
enough.
guy, that's what you do to your straight. Like if he could probably give two fucks about her, but that's all an image, and then just kicking the shit out of her.
So I don't really know what's going on with Diddy, like what he's being accused of. I don't care. I don't care that much.
Like harassment, and there's also trafficking. There's drugs. Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of shit.
I don't mean to say I don't care. Like if he's doing these things, like I think he should be prosecuted. Yeah, like I hated Diddy just because of what his.
That's why I was always a West Coast guy over the East Coast because I hated Diddy and fucking Biggie.
You hated Biggie?
I liked Biggie. I didn't like Diddy with I felt like he. I don't know. I feel like Biggie would have been better without him.
I never liked that people think that Diddy produced Biggie stuff. Diddy's got no musical ability. He produced
he's still
it
in the studio with.
He produced it in the fact that he was in there. He's put people together, but there was
his voice on the back of a lot of.
He didn't make any of those beats. People are like, he produced those beats. He didn't make any beats.
He didn't make any of the beats, but there's still production things that you're doing there.
What does he do?
He's like the choreographer, I guess.
He's a producer in the movie aspect of producer. It's like I hired this person, I put you two together. Like, hey, maybe you think about doing it. Like he gives maybe some advice here and there, but he's got no actual musical skill.
But he's good at like getting the right people with the right.
Exactly.
But he's also like Juicy was his idea. He found that apparently.
Yeah. So I just never really liked him as an artist.
I agree with you. I can't stand P. Diddy. I never liked him. I always hated him.
So what? He's going to go to jail. I'm assuming.
Well, is he still on the run?
Is he on the run?
I don't know.
This thing happened in 2016. That's the sick thing about it.
That somebody had this video and they didn't expose it before now.
It's because the only reason why it's coming out now is because all the other shit. Wow. So it's like, okay.
People feel safe to be like.
It's safe to pull things out on Diddy now.
Yeah.
But when he was at his peak of
that is pretty
power,
messed up that this stuff is just
think about
there.
that. 9 years, and that's on a hotel surveillance camera.
Yeah.
Which means cops seeing that. That's been out.
Yeah. Hold up those stickers. Yeah, well, give me those stickers.
Well, you can take those. I'm gonna take these home.
Well, the little ones. I like the little. Just give me one of each of those. Yeah, the whole thing. It's fine.
Is this good?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it up. So I want to promote these. I want to say if you subscribe to our YouTube page, take a screenshot.
Yeah.
DM it to us. I'm trying to get people to, and then we're gonna send you a bumper sticker. I don't know if there's this is a throwback to
what is that?
This is a throwback to an
Show
early.
all the shoes.
This is a throwback to a clip that I thought was hilarious.
You didn't even see this part?
I didn't see that.
I just think it's so funny. So this was about when B thought that the exclamation point was a pair of shoes walking away.
Yeah.
So I designed.
Which clearly by this, I was right. This looks.
So I designed.
This is shoes, but it looks
he
just
made
like
it that.
Yes,
I
he knows
understand.
that. I think he knows.
But
that.
it still looks just like.
So this is.
You got to be obvious.
This is an exclamation point reaction, but I made it look like it's shoes, but it says adult babies, and it's got a little.
And I'm the only one who looks accurate.
And it's a QR. It's a QR code, so you can scan it. So I'll give you a bumper sticker.
Which one's got the QR code?
This one with the feet. So I'm going to give out these bumper stickers. We're going to order bumper stickers. So if you go to our YouTube page, subscribe, take a screenshot of it, DM us on Instagram, and
we'll send you one.
So I'll mail you a couple bumper stickers. Yeah,
love it.
This is just a little logo guy. Yeah. All right.
I love it.
I'm pumped.
Look at it. It works.
I'm trying to get to. We want to go to a bunch
I
of.
hope it works. He printed them already.
Does it? It's small, and you need
small.
but in good light, it pops right up.
It popped up for me, but now it's not.
Yeah, it'll pop up. Like I said, it's low light, but it'll come up.
No,
Yeah.
these are fantastic.
Yeah, it's the first run. You know, if we get a lot, you might have to wait from the second load. But yeah, we'll send them out to you. Who doesn't love a sticker?
Everybody loves stickers.
I
love stickers.
I'm collecting stickers, so
Big fan of stickers.
now the guy did it come up? Like I said, it's small, so it'll take time to focus. But in good light, it'll pop right up.
Cool.
Not that people care if they're already subscribing; they don't need the QR code. But if you put out, like if we stick these up places, people can go right to the
There you go.
right to the thing.
There you go. I love it. Great.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other business?
I don't think so. Chick, do you have anything?
No, I got nothing.
No.
All I'm thinking about now is the Knick game. Now that we're close.
Yeah, we're getting close, baby. All right. You want to wrap this one up?
I'm good.
All right, boys. If you made it this far,
Like, subscribe, comment, email,
get these stickers.
order merch.
Put them
Yeah,
on
you
your
got a full,
proactive
you got a
with
full
us.
merch store is up and running
Email
now
us
too. It's all-
stories or comments or so if you want to talk to us or want us to talk about
the Instagram
something.
link in the bio is a link to a merch store. I never really promoted because I wanted to add more stuff into it before I do it. But there's plenty of stuff on there. There's t-shirts.
Yeah, DM us.
Yeah.
Slide in my DMs, baby.
Slide in. Slide in, kids.
Okay.
Let's go Knicks.